On January 22, 2026, a natural disaster struck New Zealand. A landslide occurred on Mount Maunganui, specifically at around 9:30 a.m. local time. This landslide was not a single catastrophic collapse that happened all at once. Instead, it was seemingly preceded with hours of precursory smaller landslides until the main collapse took place. Regardless, by the end of this natural disaster, 6 people lie dead, buried by debris in a campsite. While some internet users are seemingly claiming this landslide was caused by a limited tree removal operation in 2022, it really wasn't, at least not in my opinion. For reference, here's the hillside segment which experienced the recent landslide in 2021, and now here it is again in 2024. Do you see the difference? Just kidding, I reversed the 2 dates. This is actually the 2021 image and this is the 2024 image, just to prove how inconsequential this was. In fact, I could only find evidence of tree removal at a spot far enough away from the landslide that the removal was a non-factor in the largest landslide. As yes, there were multiple landslides that happened. The removal of a few trees, if they ever occurred in this spot, in my opinion, did not trigger the main landslide. Why do I say this? 2 reasons. 1. Record-setting rainfall occurred on this hillside, which would have increased the chance of a landslide occurring on many other slopes if they faced similar conditions. How much rain? 20 centimeters on January 21st and 10 centimeters on January 22nd. In other words, about 3 months worth of rain in just 2 days, which added immense mass to the top layer of the long-extinct volcanic edifice of Mount Maunganui, causing a slip to occur. This is somewhat similar to the landslide that recently occurred on Indonesia's island of Java, also caused by a very heavy amount of rainfall. The second factor is that Mount Maunganui, which for reference is 1,350 meters long and whose edifice covers a mere area of 85 hectares, seems to have produced a high rate of other recent landslides. As between 2000 and 2020, other less severe but still heavy rainfall events triggered a grand total of 38 landslides in 4 distinct clusters time-wise. You can see many of these previous landslides, especially the ones from 2011, clearly in Google Earth. Also, landslides in a way are like heart attacks. If you've had one before, you are at increased risk of having one again in the future. You might not think this analogy is initially applicable to the spot where the deadly landslide occurred, but it actually is. The area I have outlined was the site of a previous landslide that occurred here in 1977. Thus, what seemingly collapsed on Thursday could be said to be a partially remobilized portion of the 1977 landslide, although it's best in my opinion to denote them as 2 distinct events with distinct causes. Also, note the abundance of scattered boulders. These largely were emplaced by rockfalls, which are a type of landslide, although presumably the vast majority of such occurred in prehistoric times. Mount Maunganui is one of several regional lava domes that formed as part of a now long-extinct volcanic field, with it being constructed out of viscous rhyolite lava around 2.4 million years ago. The smaller Mount Drury, shown here, is also a related similar-age lava dome, with both being part of the broader Minden rhyolite subgroup. If you are curious what this spot may have looked like when it was geologically young, I thus bring your attention to Wilson Butte in California's Maunganui volcanic chain. While notably smaller than Mount Maunganui, Wilson Butte erupted a viscous mass of rhyolite lava around the year 693 CE. The reason I bring this up is lava domes often have steep slopes, and the greater a slope is, the greater risk it has for being the site of a landslide. As a final note, I would like to thank my YouTube channel member, MindZHD, for supporting my work.